-30, it's cold, we're up in the mountains, everybody's tired, the camera is about to die, I'm losing the light, but I gotta get the shot. My name is Svidensky. I'm a freelance photographer. I'm based basically everywhere. So what I did this year, I went to South China. I went there to meet and try to document the life of the Miao tribes. When I get to a new culture, I try to let the people lead me to it. We went out and we start asking people questions. What should we do? What should we look for? Something very unique about the Miao tribes is their visual appearance. They've been nomads for thousands of years, and as they were migrating across central China, they've been adopting different customs. In a way, every tribe of the Miao is basically a window into old China. Silver crown and jewelry are basically either festivals or weddings. And the idea was to go out and to find a Miao bride. And we got to their home and they showed us the place and all the silver jewelry. And I wanted to take a very good portrait of her, but nothing I did over there felt right. And I didn't want to just throw this opportunity away. So after looking around a bit in the area, I found the background. But let's just say it wasn't the place they expected me to photograph her in, but it's exactly the place I needed. And after I shot all those images, I wanted to go and see the people, the artists, that make those jewelries, the silversmiths. Before we even pulled out the cameras, we sat down for an interview. I started asking him questions about his life. It was kind of funny because the silversmith we photographed didn't speak Chinese. We had to translate sort of me speaking to my guide in English, my guide speaking to his son in Chinese, and his son translating in a special dialect just for his dad. And when the time was right, I said, look, this is what I do. I tell stories. I want to tell your story. How can we do this together? What do you think is the best way to do it? And at that moment, the silversmith changed. He was no longer a person I was photographing. He became an active part in the entire creative process. I remember the first time I saw a Miao girl walking in the street with a silver and jewelry. She looked unreal. She looked like a spirit from a different world. And there was something I sort of couldn't see in the images I took so far. So I decided to do something a bit different. I decided to put aside the documentary part of what I do and to go out there for one day and just use art photography as my style. The idea was to go out there and create the Miao Goddess. This mythological creature that protected the Miao tribes throughout the years. The last shot we wanted to take, we found this beautiful waterfall. And I had this idea of shooting the Miao Goddess with 3 of her daughters standing behind her. And it was always a challenge. It's the first time I had to direct, control, and build the shot completely by myself. And I quite enjoyed it. It took us about 2 hours to make the final shot, struggling to understand one another, the slippery rocks, left, right, to find the right composition. But once I saw the final image, it was worth it.
1, 2, 3.
And this is what I do. I keep moving, keep trying, looking for that next story. I tell these stories in the hope of inspiring someone, whether it is to give them the motivation to follow their dreams or to go out there and explore the world themselves. There are so many stories out there, traditions, cultures, people that we know very little about. But they are powerless to inspire us unless we put them in the spotlight, giving them the opportunity to share their stories. After all, what's the point in a story that hasn't been told?